Hey everyone, as I promised in the last video, today we're diving deep into one of my absolute favorite characters in Blue Lock, and that's none other than Sei Itoshi. Now this one's special because Sei just got a really important update, and honestly, it completely changes how he plays. In a good way. So if you're someone who's been sleeping on Sei, or maybe you didn't feel like he was strong enough before, well, I've got good news. One specific move of his has finally been buffed, and that changes everything. Yup, I'm talking about the beautiful shot. And now, it's not just beautiful, it's actually dangerous. And there's more. They finally gave Sei a curve shot too, which is something he really needed to compete with the top styles in the game. So today I'm going to walk you through all the buffs he got, what's changed, and why I personally think Sei is now easily top 3 in the entire game. But before we get into that, real quick, if you enjoy this kind of content, please hit that subscribe button and stick around until the end. YouTube loves it when you engage with the video, likes, comments, even just watching all the way through. And it motivates me like crazy to keep making new videos every single day. I'm aiming to hit 20,000 subs by the end of June, or even sooner if we can, and I believe we can do it with your help. Alright, let's start with Sei. First things first, one thing I didn't mention right away is that his arm swipe actually got adjusted too. Not exactly a nerf, more like a realistic rework. Before, you could kind of just shove people with it and they'd fly like Kuni just hit them with a full body block. A bit too much. Now, if you use the arm swipe, you'll need to be up close to your opponent. Just like how it happens in the anime when Sei shoves Isagi. It doesn't send them flying anymore unless both of you are going for a loose ball and neither of you has it. In that case, it still works like before. So I'd say it's not a nerf, it's actually more balanced now and feels more like something Sei would actually do in the manga. As for his dribbling, still amazing, no changes there. He has two types of dribbles and both feel smooth, reliable, and just really hard to counter. They didn't touch that, and I'm glad they didn't. Now let's talk about what really matters. The beautiful shot. This move right here is what makes Sei shine now. After the latest buff, the power of the shot was increased by 30%, which is huge. You're no longer forced to shoot only when you're right in front of the goal. You can take a few steps back, aim properly, and boom, still score. And on top of that, they added curve shot. Yes, finally. It's not the most insane curve shot like Rin's passive one, but it's definitely stronger than I expected. It's somewhere between Rin's and a standard curved shot, but for a midfielder like Sei, it's more than enough. Honestly, it makes his shot feel like Bachira's after a dribble, just with better control. What's also great is the cooldown. It feels super fast for a shot ability. I didn't time it exactly, but it recharges in like 20 to 30 seconds, which means you'll get to use it often. And every time you use it, you basically have a 99% chance of scoring, as long as you pick the right distance and aim correctly. So yeah, if you've been using Sei or thinking about trying him, now's the perfect time. This is one of the best updates Sei players have ever gotten, no doubt about it. Let's move on to the man, the myth, the Kaiser. So Kaiser got hit with both a nerf and a buff, but overall it's honestly just a really solid rebalance. Here's what changed. They slightly nerfed how far his shot can go. So those crazy clips where someone was scoring from their own half? Yeah, that's not going to happen anymore. Some people might be upset about that, but in exchange they gave his Kaiser impact a massive speed buff. And I mean it, this is now, in my opinion, the fastest shot in the game. Even faster than Rin's domain-boosted curve shot. It feels like something straight out of the manga. You know how in the manga they always talk about Kaiser having the quickest shot? Well, now in-game, that's exactly how it feels. Try it out. If you're anywhere near the penalty box and you shoot, the keeper straight up can't react in time. It's just too fast. And because of that, Kaiser is back at the top. Top 1 style in the game in my books, especially now that Rin got toned down just a little. Speaking of Rin, I know people were worried that his style got nerfed too hard, but honestly, he's still really strong. The developers didn't kill the style, they just made it more fair. His domain is still busted. His curve shot is still insanely fast. His awakened moves are still top tier. It's just that Kaiser's shot speed now puts him slightly ahead. Rin is still in that top tier of styles, just no longer an uncontested number one. Now let's quickly touch on NEL Isagi. After his nerf, he kind of dropped off for a while, especially after they changed his dash and removed one of his key moves. But now, with this recent update, I feel like he's back to being balanced. Kind of like his pre-nerf version, but just without the insane lefty shot. I actually think this is one of the fairest changes the devs could have made. It makes him playable but not broken. And that's something I really appreciate. When styles feel good to use but don't dominate the meta. Actually, speaking of balanced, let's talk about styles that feel super well balanced right now. I'd put Don Lorenzo, Corona, and Nel Bachira on that list. Not necessarily the strongest in terms of raw power, but in terms of gameplay balance, they're like the golden middle. And now I'd say NEL Isagi belongs in that category too. He's not too strong, not too weak, and just really fun to use. Let me know in the comments, which styles do you guys think are the most balanced right now? And which ones do you wish would get nerfed or buffed again? Also about Don Lorenzo. I don't have recent footage of him since I spun him off to make space for Hiyori, but I still wanted to mention him. After the update, his zombie dash can now be used off-ball, which is crazy. And his golden defense got adjusted too. They added 0.35 seconds delay before iframes are ignored, and they also removed the steal entirely, which balances it out. Zombie dribble also got some small changes. The end lag was fixed and the distance slightly increased. Again, all in the name of balance. And I think they nailed it. Oh, and by the way, I'm not sure why, but I completely forgot to mention the buffs to Nagi and Rio. Maybe it's because I didn't get to try them out yesterday, and I don't even own them in my account. But when I was scrolling through TikTok and YouTube and saw some new clips, especially of Nagi, I was shocked at how strong they've become. Honestly, they look insane now. Now, I still believe Rio needs a full rework to reach his true potential, but with this current buff, at least he can somewhat keep up with other top-tier styles. As I mentioned in my last video, Rio's offensive mode got buffed in a few areas. There's a small shot power buff, which actually doesn't feel that small when you see his shots in action. They look solid. His dribble cooldown got slightly reduced, and from the clips I saw, it almost felt like he didn't even have cooldown anymore. Plus, his shot bar feels slightly faster. That one isn't a huge game changer to me personally, but it's still a nice touch. And of course, he also got a small speed boost. All of these are minor buffs on paper, but when you put them together, Rio's offensive mode feels way better now for people who want to use him more like a striker. What he really needs, in my opinion, is a buff that lets him copy world-class moves. And yeah, maybe not exactly 100% copies for the sake of balance, but even like 99% would be enough. If they added that, I think Rio could easily become one of the most popular styles in the game. As for Nagi, his buffs don't look crazy on the patch notes, but they definitely feel impactful in the game. His dash got increased distance and reduced cooldown, which already feels smoother, but the biggest change is to his trap. The cooldown is reduced a lot, and now he recovers so much faster after using it. Super satisfying. Hopefully we'll see NEL versions of them soon, like NEL Nagi and NEL Rio, and maybe even give them a special chemical reaction since they're one of the most iconic duos in the anime. That would be such a cool addition. So yeah, SAE is now top 3 in my opinion. Kaiser is officially back on top, Rin is still a beast, Isagi is back to being fair and fun, and Don Lorenzo is the new king of balance. I'm honestly super happy with this patch overall. It feels like the devs are finally finding that sweet spot between fun and fairness. Let me know in the comments, who are you maining now? And has this patch changed who you run with? And do you agree with my rankings? Also, if you made it this far, thank you so much. It seriously helps the channel a lot when you watch to the end. And again, if you haven't yet, hit that subscribe button, drop a like, and maybe share this with your squad. My goal is 20,000 subs by the end of June. And with your support, I know we can make that happen. Alright, that's it from me. See you in the next one.